Okay, so as I was saying, your 32 treatment combinations have now been reduced to 8 treatment combinations per block. So we have 4 blocks here, and you are free to choose any of these 4 blocks. Now, the final factorial design that you will be choosing will now depend on your knowledge of the subject. So, let's say for example, feel mo na you want to look at the main effects of B and D kunwari. So the logical choice would be this block right here since it contains the main effects B and D. So and let's say for example na ito nga yung pinili nyo tapos you did an experiment and you got results right listed here. So this is for example your response variable Y, and this is the values that you got from that experiment. Now, if I want to do ANOVA and I'm doing ANOVA purely on the main effects only, since limited lang din yung number of observations natin, hindi rin natin pwedeng ma-analyze yung higher order na interactions, no? Mga two-way interactions, three-way, etc. So let's just do the main effects. So we have 5 factors, so that's A, B, C, D, and E. And again, if we have a factorial design, the way we do it is we do a table of signs, and from the table of signs, we multiply it by our, we get the sum product of our response variable column versus the the row of the factor we are trying to get the SS and the contrast on. Okay, so for example, this one again, when we're doing table of signs, anytime the factor appears in the treatment combination, we give it a value of 1, and if it does not appear, then it gets a value of -1. So, for example, this one, this treatment combination B, there is no A, so that's -1, then B is 1, C is also -1, D is -1, and E is -1 as well. So we could do that for all of the treatment combination, but the faster way could be you could fill in the positive ones first. So for example, we have AC here is A, and this is C, then D is this one, A, B, C, D, this is A, B, C, and D, no E here. We have A and E, then we have B, C, and E. Tapos, meron tayong A, B, D, and E. And last, we have C, D, and E. Now, to complete the negative ones, we just select our table, then press Ctrl plus F. Then this dialog box should appear. Then you look at the Replace tab. Then for the Find What entry field, you place the blank. So all of these blanks, we are trying to replace it with -1. So for the replace with entry field, we place -1. Okay, and once we set that up, we just click on replace all, and all those blanks should have been replaced with -1s. Okay, so after replacing that, we write the contrast. This is the contrast. So contrast, and again the contrast is just equal to the sum product of this array multiplied by this array. Now we want to be able to just drag this function across this row, no? So what we do is we don't want the response variable to move, so we place a $sign on the all of the uh, or all of the letters and numbers. That's $B, $2, $B, $9. Then C2 and C9, since we're dragging, we want this red column here to move as we drag the formula across this row. So we just leave it as is. We have that one. Then let's drag it to the right, and we could compute the effects also. So that's just the 2 times the contrast divided by the total number of observations, but since we're just doing ANOVA here, let's just proceed directly to the sum of squares. So the sum of squares, the formula for sum of squares is just the contrast squared divided by total number of observations. And if you can see all our data points, we only have 8 data points, so our total number is just 8. Then we just drag this to the right, as so, like so. Now we have the SS values for our different main effects. Now we just do our ANOVA table. So we have ANOVA, then this is where we place our different factors. We are only doing main effects, A, B, C, D, and E. Then we have after the factors, we have error, and then we have total. Then the first column is just the SS. Next column is degrees of freedom. Next is MS. Then we have F cap. We have P value. We have F quit. Then maybe we can add a decision column. So, dapat by now class, no, you should be able to memorize or at least familiarize yourself by heart kung anong laman ng Anova table, because this is used in most of our calculations. No? In fact, all of the Anova calculations uses this table format. So you should, if you want to pass MetE 314. No? Pero kung ayaw, okay lang din. Memorize. But anyway, yung sa Anova natin, you could just copy paste, no? Or kasi ayaw ni Jolina yung VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. Ang gagawin lang natin ay we could just place the equal sign. No? So pwedeng equals, ganyan, equals, then equals dito. Or another method is yung transpose method, no? Yung phase special, which I taught earlier kanina during our lecture. So we can control C, then right click, paste special, values, because we don't want to copy the formula, we want to copy the values themselves, then transpose. Okay, and it should fill up like so. Then the total, again, you should be able to memorize this one. So total is equal to the sum of square ng lahat ng data natin minus, if you remember the parang quote-unquote recurring term natin, which is just the grand total of your data squared divided by total number of observations. Okay, so this is the sum of squares. Then our error is just equal to this one minus all the SS, computed sum of squares. So again, dapat yung total nito should be equal to the SS total. Okay, so kaya yung error is equal to this one minus these values. Okay? So degrees of freedom is just the number of levels minus 1. So for A, the number of levels is, or since this is 2 to the K factorial design, so it's 2 levels for all factors, so that's 2 minus 1 is 1. So we just copy that there. Then the total is just the total number of observations minus 1, and the total number of observations or data points is 8 minus 1. That gives us 7. 7 minus this is 5. So 7 minus 5 is 2. Now we compute for MS. MS is always, again, you should be able to memorize this now. SS over DF. Then I can drag this down.